Hello, good morning. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two silver rums from the Caribbean islands, both 40% alcohol. This is WD Liquors distilled rum imported and bottled and imported from the Caribbean islands. We don't know which islands. We know it's not Puerto Rico or the U.S. Virgin Islands, because in that case it would not be imported. Bottled in Kentucky by Wide World Importers for Winn-Dixie stores. Quality guaranteed, it says on the with a wax seal, which is not really wax, it's just made to appear like it. For Winn-Dixie stores. Winn-Dixie established in 1955. Now owned by Aldi as of 2024. Believe it or not, Aldi. All right, Southern Gulf Coastal, Southeastern grocery chain, South Central, Southeastern. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Georgia's not on the Gulf Coast. So those are those Winn-Dixie locations. Okay, here is Don Q Cristal, introduced in 1978 by Serrallés. The brand is Don Q, but the company is Serrallés. And they're an old company from 1865. Yeah, 1865. In Puerto Rico, it's one of the rums of Puerto Rico, which have to be aged in oak barrels for at least 1 year. And they must be produced from a continuous distillation column. And you can read the Rums of Puerto Rico website. It'll give you more information of who's a member of it and what are the rules for being a member. You don't have to join the trade association. No, you can make really cheap rum and not follow those rules. But if you do join it, you have to follow those rules. Ron Blanco, white rum. They're showing some pen and ink drawings of Puerto Rico. And this was introduced in 1978. And it's a glass bottle. And I got it for $13.99, believe it or not. I paid $13.99 for both bottles. This was a deep discount sale. And this was just a regular price. And then they dropped it $1 after I bought it. I'll show you the website listings. Here's Winn-Dixie, $12.99 until August 25th, 59.2 ounces. Both of these bottles, 59.2 ounces. And you have to buy it in the store. You do curbside pickup or delivery. Okay, that's their policy. There you go. There's some recipes, ideas. Here's Don Q Cristal. There's a regular size bottle. Smooth, mixable, clean finish. Unlike most clear rums, Don Q uses a multiple distillation system to produce a cleaner, more refined, and more delicate flavor profile. So a Cristal drink will sip smoother than a drink made with another rum, they claim. It might be true. It's then aged for 1.5 to 5 years in American white oak barrels to impart a touch more smoothness. So smooth, in fact, that you can substitute Cristal in a vodka drink and most be able to tell the difference. Try it. You'll see. I don't know why you'd want to do it. You could, they claim. Now, is it really a rum that they age 1.5 to 5 years and they just pull it when they think it's ready? Or is it a blend of rums, the youngest 1.5 years and the oldest 5? It's probably the second choice. It's a blend of different age rum from their distillery. I mean, it's all their product, you understand? No, all Maine. I want a B+ medal, you know, like a good recommendation in 2014. That's kind of a long time ago there, years ago. Doesn't look like they've done competitions lately. I don't think I'd be touting things from 10 years ago or longer. They might want to get some of the other ones. And those are the pen and ink drawings on the bottle. There's the gold, which I've been enjoying also. There's the 151, which I'd be afraid to try. Then you got all the flavored rums: naranja, orange, cocoa, piña, pineapple, limon, lime, passion, passion fruit. Then there's the above premium or the expensive rum level: Grand Reserve, Cognac cask, Zinfandel cask, iced reserve 7 years, port cask, vermouth cask, sherry cask, signature releasing. Or you know how these companies, they all do it. All the liquor companies, they'll give different barrel treats. It'll be the same rum. They just put it in different barrels and give it little tweaks. I saw some illegal mezcal, Dewar's illegal mezcal. That was one they made, and they finished it in illegal mezcal barrels. They had that on discount the other day at a store. It was like $6.99 for the bottles. Why was it so cheap? It was like $30, $30 when they first came out with it. It was cheap because it's been discontinued, and I'm sure that liquor store got a deal on it and figured they'd mark it up $1 and make some money. I didn't buy it. I've already had it. I was like, nah, I've already had it. I know what it tastes like. It's very good. Don't need more of it. So I passed on it. But you can find really good deals, usually on stuff that's been discode or, slang for discontinued. Like Johnny Walker, Tale of Fire and a Tale of Ice. That was a thing they made in conjunction with a television series, and which I never watched a single minute of. But the series is off the air now, or off the cable or the streaming, And so they got it super cheap, $40 bottles for $14.99. That's assuming you'd be willing to wait to try it. It doesn't matter to me. I'll wait because like I said, I didn't care anything about the series, so I haven't even opened them yet. Okay, so these are both clear. No shock there. We can turn on the lamps now. It's not going to be dawn yet. As we get later in the year, the days grow shorter and the nights grow longer. All right. So is it likely that are you likely to find Don Q Cristal for $13.99 a handle? Absolutely, definitely unlikely. What about Winn-Dixie WD Liquors rum for $12.99? Well, yeah, you can find that today when they open the store in 18 minutes. No, I'm sorry, they don't open till 7. 1 hour and 18 minutes. They got on the website, $12.99. Now, is it worth it? My opinion, yes, it's worth it. Now, if you're looking for exquisite rum, it's not worth it. But then nobody in their right mind would think that they're going to buy rum for $12.99 a handle and it's going to be exquisite. Nobody, unless they're dim-witted, would think that. Let's see, Don Q. Total Wine's got it for, $22.99. $14.99 for a regular size bottle. That's what I'm saying. A regular bottle is $14.99, but I got the handle for $13.99. It seems crazy, but it's true. Look, they're showing the old label. But that's what I got it for. And I said, oh man, I bet they're going to sell that gold for a higher price in about a week. I better go back and get that gold because they're not going to keep it $13.99. Dorgnax Food Center is not. So I went back a week later and I bought the gold. I got them both for $13.99. $27.98 for 2 handles of Don Q. And sure enough, the price went up, and now it's, like I say, in the 20s, 20-some dollars. Still cheap, for rum. Joe Cobb in Canada says, morning, Ron. Ever see the old movie Battle of Britain? Think I might have seen some of it. It's a black and white movie. Good prices for show, says Joe. Yeah, amazing prices. So I don't, I know a lot about the Battle of Britain. Well, not a lot. maybe more than the average person. Anyway, back to Puerto Rican. And so we know this is from Puerto Rico. It says it on the bottle. This one, it could be a blend of rums from around the Caribbean, Dominican Republic, theoretically Haiti, but I doubt that. Barbados, Trinidad, whatever. I know Sazerac gets stuff from Trinidad. Now this I know. But then they get stuff from Barbados as well. So it's, you say no, you say Wide World Importers. Yes, but Wide World Importers is part of Sazerac. And they bottle it right there in Frankfort, Kentucky at Buffalo Trace. So it's the same people. It might just be a division of the company that handles like private label for like Winn-Dixie and some other stores. Could just be what they do, which wouldn't be that hard of a job because that stuff sells at a clip. You know what I mean? It just, there's no promo for it aside from having a sale. And they might put a little sign up. And so there's no advertising expense. A paper sign wouldn't cost much. And they just stick it on the shelf and people buy it. Why do they buy it? Because it's great? No, they buy it because it's cheap. Why do people buy private labels, brands? Because they're discounted. They're inexpensive. They don't buy them to impress their friends and family. No one says, oh, yeah, y'all got to come over and try this great value crunchy peanut butter. No one's going to do that. Hello, Jay. 2:44 p.m. here in Reunion Island. Cheers and have a nice day. He's in the Indian Ocean, a French part of France in the Indian Ocean. You say France is in Europe, dummy. Yeah, well, France is like the United States. It's spread around the world. The United States is in North America, but there's some branches of it. Polynesia, Hawaii, France in Europe, the Mediterranean Sea. There's a piece of France in the Mediterranean Sea. The Indian Ocean, South America, the Caribbean. Get your geography books out, read, study, learn. Smells simple, basic, not bad. Not so simple, not so basic, and definitely not bad. It's got more, it smells like it's going to have more sweetness and more body. But you say, now, I know what you're going to say. You can't smell body and you can't smell sweetness. I know that. It just smells like it's going to have it. Okay, taste time. Cheers. Same old story. Dry. Some sweetness. I mean, it's not 100% dry, like no sweetness whatsoever. There's sweetness, but it's a drier oriented rum. And there's the sugarcane stalks, the grass, which may not appeal to you, but that's what it's got taste. It's what it tastes like in there. All right, taste. Cheers over here. Don't taste the sugarcane stalks. Obviously, I taste the sugarcane because I'm tasting sugar. Rum tastes like liquid sugar, which in a roundabout way is what it is, in an indirect way. They're using obviously light molasses. Is not a word. Yeah, I guess you get a little bit of the oak barrel in it. It's not profound. And you can't say too much because this one might be aged in oak barrels, but it might be aged 3 weeks, instead of 1.5 to 5 years. They're not aging these a long time if they're selling them for $12.99. Sorry, not happening. Are they adding flavorings to these? It's possible because you're allowed to add flavor into rum and you don't have to disclose that. You don't have to even talk about it. But doesn't taste like they do. Doesn't taste like anything's added. It just tastes like straightforward rum. And usually this company will say it. Wide World Importers, they'll put it on the label. with natural flavors. They'll just say it, rum with natural flavor. So when they don't say it, I'm assuming they don't put it, because why would they put it on everything else? Get Miles Gin. It says gin with natural flavors. I don't know why they add that, but they just do. Well, gin has flavors in a sense, right? I don't know if you're allowed to put flavoring without saying it, because I haven't read the regulations on it. I know that the flavoring itself is the juniper berries, which is not considered a flavoring. It's part of gin. Gin must be rested on juniper berries. Juniper berries. That's not an option. It has to be, or it wouldn't be gin. It could be something else. But so juniper berries have to be part of the gin. Now, I didn't say they had to be high quality berries or anything like that. The law doesn't say that. It doesn't say it can't be cheap rot gut junk. It can be that, but the juniper berries must happen. That has to be done. You know, they make 10 high bourbon whiskey with natural flavors. You say, what is the logic behind that? Look, I don't know. There's some, I guess maybe it tastes nasty without the flavoring. Maybe it's rough, you know, it's cheap bourbon. And maybe you'd hate it, you know. Doesn't seem to hurt the sales. I see 10 high around. It's not exactly wildly popular, but it's steady. Mathern's got it. Sell the handles and the glass bottles. They wouldn't keep it if it didn't sell, because that store, that store will drop something bad. I mean, like a bad habit. You know, if they have a beer or a wine or a liquor and it doesn't move, it's gone. They put it in the discount basket and they get it out the store. So if you see something over there that's on the shelves for 3, 4, 5, 10, 12 years, it's selling. Maybe slow, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's steady, just steady moving. They don't want something that's just stuck and it doesn't move. No, it's gone. I like Malfi gin from Italy. It's citrus forward, but still decent amount of juniper. My daughter is really into gin. You know, I don't really like it, honestly. I'll drink it and I'll try it, and I never hate it, and I always think it tastes good, but I don't. It's just not something my favorite, you see. But they're very intricate. And I bought her a new one. I bought her a gin from some foreign country, Australia. That's where it was from, Australia. Crazy. Should be interested in that. I gave it to her for Christmas, you see. So she got to wait 4 months and some days. The WD is fine. Gin is an acquired taste for sure, yeah. And I know some people, that's all they drink. If it's not gin, they ain't drinking it. Okay. The WD is fine. It has good qualities, but it's basic. There's nothing about it that you would want to let people know or go share it with somebody. Now, if they're having a football watching party and they're just going to waste liquor and drink it and waste beer, yeah, bring it to that party, because they're not going to sit there and be all like examining, you know, they're not going to be sitting there examining it anyway. They're going to be watching the game. But I don't like to go to these football watching parties because they don't watch the game. They distract you. You know, people distract you and want to talk about what you think about Trump and all this. And it's like, and I'm trying to watch the game, you know, and you don't want to be rude. Oh, and then they'll talk about something else. I heard your daddy got sick or something. And it's like, you don't ever get to see the game. So I'd rather watch a game by myself at home. I'll just be watching it, you know, and I concentrate on it. Of course, my father will call me maybe 3 times during the game. You saw that? Did you see that? Or he'll say, well, they finished. They've had it. They're going to lose. I said, well, it's only halftime. It's halftime, and they're getting beat 23-9. That's 14 points. They could come back and win, and then half the time they do, you know. Churchill loved gin. Yeah, I heard he had a taste for liquor and a love for war. All right. But all warmongers don't love liquor. In fact, I know of one that got involved in all kind of conflicts, and he didn't smoke cigarettes, and he was a vegetarian. Love dogs, But so you get eccentric people in that business. Some are heavy drinkers and some are vegetarians, but they got one thing in common. They think they can solve their problems through warfare, and a lot of times they're very wrong about that. All right, make a bad miscalculation in that sense. You say, what about Bismarck? Yeah, well, you see, Bismarck was very careful. A lot of people are not as careful as him. So he would not go to war unless he knew he would win. He's like me. I won't gamble unless I know I'm going to win. You said, well, that's not a gamble. I know. That's why I don't gamble. Now, if somebody makes a bet with me, like, I bet you're wrong. Now, if I know what I'm talking about and I know the answer for sure, I'll say, you don't want to bet me because you're going to lose $20. Oh, no. And then I'll do it. And then they'll try to welch, I was just joking around. I said, no, you weren't joking. Because if I'd have lost, you'd have insisted that I pay. But since you lost, because you didn't know what you were talking about, I was trying to tell you were wrong. Now you want to try to pretend like you were just joking. So I don't gamble. But if they try to welch on me, I'm gonna call them out for the rest of their life, because how people are. But I had a guy on Facebook talking about that. I guarantee he was talking all out. I don't know who this guy is. Most people on Facebook, I don't know who they are, but if they're nice, I'll talk to them. But he was saying, I guarantee you Ohio State's going undefeated this year. I'm thinking that's a bold statement. I said, they're not. I said, look, Ohio State will not go undefeated this year, okay? And another guy was like, right, he's backing me up. Right, that's not going to happen. And then the guy's like, I tell you what, if they don't go undefeated, he's telling the other guy that, I'll buy you any craft beer you name, and I'll ship it to you. Any craft beer you name, I'll buy it and ship it to you if Ohio State doesn't go undefeated. So I said, well, it looks like you're going to get some free craft beer because that's not going to happen. And that's it. That was in August, and no one mentioned it again until the Michigan game at the end of the year, and they lost. So like in 1 minute, I'll go on Facebook, and the guy's like, well, here's the craft beer I want. And he had, he named some really expensive white ale. He said, and I'll give you my address. You can contact me. And I was like, I told y'all. And then he tells me like 10 minutes later, that guy blocked me? I was like, what? He was like, yeah, I asked him, I told him, here's my address, and he blocked me. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, we don't play this. And I told the guy, and I know his name too. I could say his name on right here. I was like, why? I said, what's wrong with you? You blocked the guy and you guaranteed you were going to send him a white ale? I mean, whatever craft beer he picked. Oh, and I said, yep, predictable. Oh, I was just kidding around. I said, naturally, you're just kidding around because you lost. You're kidding around because you lost. If you'd have won, you'd have been probably putting his name all over the internet that he didn't want to pay you. But he probably would have paid you. Jason. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So if you take a deep sip like I just did, you'll notice some alcohol component to it. There is like a alcohol spirits. It's like it could be any spirits, you know what I mean? Any kind of alcohol, but it's there. But yeah, $12.99. I think it's all right though. I think it's all right. It's all right. Do I regret buying it? No. I got most of it left, 80%. So yeah, it's fine. I don't gamble either. Seems pointless, but many people love it. It is pointless in my opinion because it's a stacked. First of all, you're playing against a casino and it's a rigged game, right? It's rigged. It's designed mathematically for the house to win 90% of the time. Yeah, I'd gamble. I would gamble with you if I could have it rigged my way, 90% wins. Why wouldn't I? Every $100 I win 90. Let's gamble. I mean, I don't know why you want to just give me your money. You want to give me $90 on every $100 played, but that's cool because maybe you don't have good sense. It's like the lottery, I see people buying lottery tickets all the time. I say, why you just giving your money to the state? They'll complain about taxes and then play lottery. I know it's voluntary, but I never play it. Do I preach to people about it? Do I go up to them and say, that's not probability? The probabilities are no. I just think, why are you doing this? Where I used to live, there was a lady who won the lottery and started a horse hobby farm, but she was very lucky. Playing the lottery expecting to win is stupid. Yeah. Now, if you play it just for entertainment, it's your money. Do what you want. It's probably more profitable than fireworks because you get nothing from those except sparkly colors. At least with lottery, there's some minuscule chance of winning. But it's what you want to do. It's what you want to do. I know somebody she loves to go to the opera. I'd rather gamble than go to the opera, believe me. Even if the deck is stacked against me 9-1, I'd rather, I think I'll lose my mind if I had to go to the opera. Or any kind of performance if you want to get techno. All right. This is the Don Q Cristal. It's got to be. There ain't no way this could be WD Liquors. I got it. But I have gotten it wrong 4 times in this series, and I don't know how many I've done. I think 14 or 15. So I have to check. It's listed. But but then of course what I got it wrong against were mainly ones of its ilk. You know what I mean? Like lower priced budget products. Get it wrong. Yeah. Did I get it wrong against like your Bacardi Silver Superior or Don Q or what's that other one? Cruzan Extra Asian? Nah, I didn't get it wrong against those. That's not going to happen. So I got one left. Captain Morgan Silver. Now, I know Captain Morgan was introduced in 1943. Kind of a strange time to introduce liquor, during the war. They introduced that Kamchatka vodka in 1944, but that's what happened. So, but anyway, 1943, Captain Morgan introduced. It's produced in the U.S. Virgin Islands. There's a distillery there called Captain Morgan Distillery. They give tours. You can look it up on the internet. They got a website. You can book a tour, or you can just walk up, take a tour. A lot of times they just have tickets available, But everybody was talking how wonderful it is. That's one of the top selling I get it right. Rums in the world. What's the top 2? Captain Morgan and Bacardi. It's got to be the top 2, right? And but they didn't make the silver until 2014, 10 years ago. I couldn't believe that. I was shocked. Captain Morgan Silver introduced in 2014. But I started doing some research, man. I started looking. I said, I knew it. They had a product years ago called Captain Morgan White Rum. I know it's true because I saw a 1978 magazine advertisement, Captain Morgan White. But for some reason, probably almost the same as what they have today. I say almost the same. But for whatever weird reason, it got dropped. And it might have been when they transitioned, when Seagram's sold it to Diageo, because Seagram's decided they were going to get out of the liquor business. Kind of a strange thing to do, right? Since that's what they were known for, and they were the world's biggest liquor company. But the people that owned it, who wasn't even Seagram's, it was a different family. They just were using the name. They said they wanted to transition into multimedia, like entertainment, media, streaming videos. They could see that was becoming a big thing, or was going to become a big thing. It wasn't at the time. Sort of like they were looking ahead. So they just sold every liquor brand that they had in all their distilleries and recipes and trademarks, everything. They sold it to whoever wanted to buy it. Just had like an auction, They took all that cash and invested it in the multimedia. So they disappeared. The name continues, you see. But it could have been during that transition that somehow got dropped, and then Diageo probably started getting emails from people saying like, well, what's up with the white rum? Why you don't have that anymore? And then they were like, we don't have it? Oh, right, we don't have it. Well, let's bring it back. So they brought in the Captain Morgan Silver, which I see it everywhere. People must like it. I see it everywhere. They keep changing the label. It's kind of weird, but I see it everywhere. Ever tried the Kraken spice rum? I've seen it. I haven't tried it, but I do see that. There's another one I see everywhere. I mean, you can't go to any liquor store without seeing the Kraken, right? And they used to even have the television commercials with they were out at sea and the storm and then the monster. All right, well, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.